What is going on, Michelin gamers? As mentioned, today we're going to be going over the top 5 weapons in Call of Duty Vanguard Zombies. Let's get into it. Now, for number 5 on this list, it is going to be the M1928 submachine gun. Now, this is a very, very good submachine gun. I like it. It is personally one of my favorite. I think it is a little bit, above the Type 100, mainly because it does a little bit more damage and you have a higher fire rate. In this game, it just feels really crisp and clean. It has a very good range at about a 600 meter distance, which, is pretty good for a submachine gun, but it doesn't really matter all too much because, well, we're playing Vanguard Zombies and there's not really much roaming area. But overall, the weapon, as you could tell, it does a lot of damage, especially critically wise. I mean, I'm doing about 558 to 600 damage per critical kill, and also I'm about getting 60 damage per body shot, so you could tell it multiplies by maybe about 10. So it might be around 6, but you can tell by upgrading deadshot daiquiri or also just increasing the rounds and pack punch level, it will get better over time. It is a very solid weapon. I think it is probably one of the better submachine guns in the game. Personally, I just think it's really fun to play with, and you get a really big clip size with it, especially when you pack punch it. If not pack punch, it gives you about 50 rounds in the clip, which is actually fairly well. And then when you pack punch it, you get 70. I believe you can get more, but I didn't have a loadout or anything. I just kind of rolled it out of the box and I was like, hey, you know what, I saved money, so I just picked it up, and hence why I only have 70 in the clip. I think there's a lot of this weapon that is fun. I mean, I mentioned it, but the running and gunning of this gun feels really nice, and also the recoil stability. It is a fairly fast fire rate for a submachine gun, but also for the recoil that you have, it's not too bad. And keep in mind that I'm not even running a grip with this gun, so I'm just holding the drum, which you can get better recoil. So if you're worried about the gameplay wise, I'm just kind of speaking about it just in general, and just don't take up this too much of as I'm just talking about this setup in particular, but it is good. Now, number 4 on this list is going to be the Sten submachine gun. This is one of these submachine guns that is extremely powerful. It's a little bit lower than the MP40, but a little bit less than the Owen gun, but it is so far a really good weapon that I'd highly recommend. It has a fire rate of about 666. It is the 3rd best in terms of the fire rate, but it does have a very good time to kill rate, and you will be killing zombies fairly fast with this. The main thing I like about this gun the most is its critical hit multiplier. I mean, the other guns have a pretty good one, but this one has a extremely high one. I don't know, there's just something about it that you just do a lot more damage than the other submachine guns. So if you're extremely accurate, you can be killing a lot faster than you normally would with some of the other weapons that statistically wise are just a little bit better. But just if you just look at the gameplay, you can tell that this weapon absolutely shreds. I'm able to 2-tap, 3-tap with a gun that has a very fast fire rate and also a pretty big magazine. I mean, I only have 64 in the clip, but that's without attachments too. I just rolled this out of the mystery box and picked this up, and this kind of goes for every other weapon in this video. This weapon overall is something that I would really recommend. I didn't really play with it all too much before. Now I started playing with it about a week ago, and I was like, man, this is actually a really good weapon. I mean, I like it. I could upgrade it a little bit, but I didn't really play it all too much because I get bored of Vanguard fast. But this weapon overall, for all those people who do like the submachine guns, this one is a really fun one to use, and highly recommend it, especially when you get the covenants that increase headshot damage like deadshot and also the dead accurate. This gun works really well because it is extremely stable and it doesn't have much recoil, and the hipfire accuracy on this weapon is extremely well to manage, and also you'll be able to get kills a lot faster, and this gun actually kills bosses pretty quickly, unlike the ones before. Now, next on our list, we have the Owen gun, and this is a very good submachine gun. It is personally one of my favorite. I didn't really play with it too much, but then I started to play with it more because I noticed more people use it, and it's really good in multiplayer, so I gave it a shot in zombies, and it is something that is extremely powerful. I mean, it even runs up with some of the assault rifles in this game alongside with some of the shotguns. You will do a lot of damage. The only thing that's lackluster about this weapon is the fire rate, but you get a extremely high damage rate with it. I mean, this is the strongest, or it is this tied with the MP40, but you get an actually really good weapon with it. The range on this gun, honestly, you could just call this thing a assault rifle. It's really just, it just feels like it, but it's classified as a submachine gun. Overall, the gun is really good, and it has a very good time to kill rate. I mean, as you could tell, it's a little bit slower, but it packs the punch. So if you're looking for a weapon like that, this weapon will do it, and it kills bosses fairly fast. And if you pair it with something like Ether Shroud, you'll be able to get away from bosses and also kill them just like I did. I would highly recommend the weapon. Even though it's not number 1, it's still a really good weapon that personally I use a lot. Now, second on our list is going to be the revolving shotgun, and this is a very good weapon. I mean, as you could tell with the damage rate on this gun is extremely high, not only because it's a shotgun, but also it's more of a full auto kind that you can just keep shooting over and over. I think this weapon does outclass a lot of the other shotguns in this game, but I think one other kind of tops it over, but we'll get into that a little bit later. It has a very good amount of damage, and also, you know, the range is a little bit crummy on it, but you can increase that range with also, you know, the diabolical damage, dead shot daiquiri, and also dead accurate. It is a fairly decent weapon that I would highly recommend, and honestly, it's one of the more fun ones to use. It doesn't have nearly as much in the clip as some of the other shotguns do, and there's kind of like this glitch with it where also if you try to reload it, it'll cancel it. So if it looks like I'm just trying to reload cancel, it's just a glitch in the game, and you got to constantly tap square just to do it, and it's kind of a hassle. But the weapon overall, like I said, is very good, and I would recommend it. It does have some really good body shot damage, so if you're kind of just spraying into a crowd, you'll be able to do a lot of damage as well. But if you aim for heads, you'll do a lot of damage as well. This weapon is one of the weapons that you will use against, say, like the death machine boss. You can just spam fire him with it, use either shroud or throw a monkey bomb, and then just go to town on him. Overall, I would really recommend the weapon. It's really fun, and it's a shotgun, dude. Personally, I believe that the number one on this list is going to be the full auto shotgun, and there's just no doubt about it. The gun is just something that's just so much fun to use, and is just really good. It reminds me a lot of the weapons from Cold War and also Black Ops 3. If you just look at the gameplay, I'm just able to shoot them. It's not much of a weapon that you kind of just aim in, but then again, I don't have a grip, but you can just spray fire with this thing and just go to town. I mean, as you could tell with the headshot multiplier, it jumps up from 1500 to 3500. It just depends on how accurate you are and the covenants that you have. I would really recommend this weapon, and also I would try it out just because it's something fun. I mean, I don't know why, but most weapons feel kind of meh in this game, but this is one of the guns that I use just basically almost every match that I play, and it does have a lot of damage. And also, even though it is a full auto shotgun, it does have a little bit more range than the revolving shotgun. I think it is really good, and yeah, I would really recommend it. But if you haven't already, leave a like, subscribe, all that nonsense. You know how this goes. Check out the links in the description. And if you made it this far, you deserve a cookie, and I love you. But in that, gamers, I will see you guys next one. Hope you have a wonderful day. See ya!